In international news, as the U.S. and Canada signal support for Ukraine to use long-range weapons in the war against Russia, Vladimir Putin is warning this would be a direct participation of NATO countries and a serious escalation of the war. Eric Viano joins us live in studio with the latest. Eric?
Adam, Putin is hinting that if Ukraine were to use long-range weaponry against Russia, it would lead to a world war. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is undeterred by these threats, saying he fully supports Ukraine using long-range weaponry. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden is also signaling openness to this and met with the new British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today to discuss it.
We wanted very much to use this weapon and just to attack these jets on the military bases, not civilians infrastructure, military bases.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky speaking with CNN today about his desire to use long-range weapons, saying targets would be Russian airfields, missile launchers, fuel tanks, and ammunition depots.
And these bombs and missiles are hitting Ukrainian civilians,
schools,
energies,
universities, all our energy infrastructure. They destroyed 80%.
Ukraine has been using Western long-range missiles on occupied territory for months, but Russian territory has been off limits. A major reason being Western fears of Russian escalation. However, some Western countries are now supporting the idea of Ukraine hitting high-value targets inside Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin told reporters yesterday if Western nations allow Ukraine to use their long-range weapons on Russia, it will mean NATO countries are at war with Russia. Despite this, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada fully supports Ukraine using long-range weaponry.
Canada and others are unequivocal that Ukraine must win this war against Russia. We'll continue to be there to support Ukraine, and yes, Canada fully supports Ukraine using long-range weaponry to prevent and interdict Russia's continued ability to degrade Ukrainian civilian infrastructure and mostly to kill innocent civilians in their unjust war.
Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is in Washington to discuss next steps in supporting Ukraine with President Biden.
What do you say to Vladimir Putin's threat of war, Mr. President?
I don't think much about Vladimir Putin.
This all comes weeks after Ukrainian forces stormed the border and put parts of Russian territory under occupation for the first time since the Second World War. Adam?